Have you ever been part of a company where a brilliant new strategy just fizzles out? Or a huge reorg happens, and a few months later, it feels like nothing really changed? Well, the reason often comes down to alignment. And today, we're diving into the classic tool designed to fix exactly that, the McKinsey 7S framework. Think of it as a blueprint for making sure all the pieces of an organization are actually working together.
Let's just start with a feeling I bet we've all had at some point. The company rolls out a bold new plan, they shuffle the org chart, and 6 months down the line, you're looking around thinking, wait, aren't we right back where we started? Why is it that real, meaningful change is so hard to make stick?
And you might think, oh, that's just a modern corporate problem, right? Well, get this. This quote, it's from a Roman advisor almost 2,000 years ago. He was complaining about the exact same thing. It just goes to show you this isn't some new age business challenge. It's a timeless, fundamental problem of getting people to work together effectively. So what is the thread that connects ancient Rome to your office today? It really all boils down to one simple but absolutely critical word: misalignment. It's when different parts of the organization are pulling in different directions, even with the best of intentions. And this is the exact issue the 7S framework was built to diagnose and solve.
So here's our game plan for today. We're going to look at why BUD strategies fail, break down the 7S model itself, talk about its hard and soft parts, see how you can actually put it to work, and finally, get real about its limitations.
You know, for a long time, managers thought about running a company in a pretty simple way. You come up with a strategy, and you draw an org chart to match. That's it. But as businesses got bigger and more complex, it became painfully obvious that just moving boxes around on a chart wasn't going to cut it. The real challenge was coordination.
And this is where our framework enters the story. It was created back in the late 70s by some consultants at McKinsey who saw this exact problem. They proposed a much more holistic way of looking at a company, identifying 7 key factors that are all interconnected and all have to be in sync for the whole thing to work.
So let's crack this model open and see how it really helps us see the entire organizational picture.
And here they are, the 7 S's. Now, the magic here isn't just knowing what each of these words means. The real secret sauce is understanding that they are all completely intertwined. It's like the gears in a Swiss watch. If you try to change just one gear without thinking about the others, you're probably going to break the whole machine.
Now, to make this framework a lot easier to wrap your head around, we can split these 7 elements into 2 distinct groups, the hard elements and the soft ones. Okay, this is the crucial distinction right here. The hard S's, that's your strategy, your structure, and your systems, are the tangible things. They're the stuff you can print out and put in a binder. The org chart, the strategic plan, the process diagrams. Management can, for the most part, directly control and change these. But then you've got the soft S's. These are the squishy human things, your culture, your people, their skills. They're intangible, and they are so much harder to change.
All right, let's do a lightning round. Strategy is your plan for winning in the market. Structure is simply who reports to whom. Systems are all the daily processes and workflows that people use to get their jobs done. Style is how leadership behaves, what they do, not just what they say. Staff refers to your employees and their general abilities. Skills are the specific things your organization is really good at. And right there, in the middle of it all, holding everything together, are the shared values. This is the company's soul, its core beliefs.
Okay, the theory is great and all, but how do you actually use this thing? Let's move from the whiteboard to the real world.
Think of this as a 5-step journey. First, you take a hard, honest look in the mirror. Where are we right now on all 7 of these S's? Second, you look out at the horizon. Where do we need to be to win? Step 3 is where the magic happens. You compare those 2 pictures and find all the gaps and contradictions. Where are things out of sync? From there, you build a real action plan to close those gaps. And finally, you execute that plan. But, and this is key, you keep coming back to review it because the world never stops changing. Let's make this concrete with a company like Tesla. Their strategy is crystal clear: lead the world's shift to electric vehicles. Now, strategy like that demands a certain structure. You can't have a slow, bureaucratic hierarchy. You need something flat and agile so teams can coordinate fast. That structure, in turn, depends on unique skills, attracting the absolute best engineers in EV technology and software. To get those people, the right staff, you need a culture or style that's intense, innovative, and hands-on. And all of this is held together by their shared values, a relentless focus on technology, learning, and a mission to respect the environment. You see?
Every S reinforces every other S. That is what alignment looks like in the wild.
But let's be real. Like any model or framework, this is not a magic wand. And to use it effectively, we have to be very clear about what it can't do.
First off, this is an inward-looking tool. It's focused on the health of your organization, which means you still need other tools to analyze your competitors or the market. It also treats all 7 elements as equals. It's not going to tell you that your strategy problem is more urgent than your skills problem. That's where your judgment comes in. And of course, it's a simplification. A real organization is messy and complex, and the quality of your analysis depends entirely on how honest and insightful you're being. Now, even though this framework was born in the 70s, it has never been more relevant than it is right now. Just think about something like a digital transformation. So many companies fall in love with a flashy new piece of technology, the systems part, and they just stop there. This model forces you to ask the tougher, smarter questions. Okay, but does this new system actually help our strategy? Do our people have the skills to use it? Does it fit our culture and leadership style? It makes sure that the technology serves the business and not the other way around.
And if you walk away with just one single idea today, please let it be this. Anyone can copy your strategy. Anyone can copy your org chart. That's the hard stuff. But your culture, your people's unique skills, your shared values, that's the messy, human, complicated, soft stuff. And mastering that is what builds a competitive advantage that no one can easily replicate. That is the real work.
So I will leave you with one final thought to take with you. When you look at your own team or your own company, and you think about these 7 elements, which S feels the most out of sync, the most out of alignment with the others? Because just being able to answer that question, well, that's the first and most powerful step you can take toward building something that truly works.